Welcome to a brand new series we're calling Sunday League Extra. It's quite obvious that you guys enjoy the Sunday League series, so why wouldn't we give you a little bit more? It's a chance for us to reflect on the previous month and give you a little bit extra on top with stats, possible interviews and behind the scenes antics too. So without further ado, let's crack on and look back at what happened in September. So September 6th we lined up against treble winners St Clair's for a pre-season friendly with a makeshift backline and a few more bods missing too. Where were they? In Butlins. But that didn't stop us giving a good account of ourselves with a couple of nice goals, including this one from the boy wonder Connor. Oh my god! There were some lovely challenges and a couple of appearances from Greg Wallace too. It was a game of two halves producing 11 goals for your viewing pleasure, which went down well with the majority of you, and despite narrowly losing 6-5, we certainly left with our heads held high. If you want to relive that game, or in case you haven't seen it, feel free to check it out here. September 13th was another pre-season friendly which saw us play at home for the first time since our final league game of the previous season, and it was definitely good to be home as we faced up to Chadwell. Once again we faced higher opposition, but this time the scoreline suggested otherwise as we went on to hit double figures, and it appears in the comments that I owe plenty of yous a Mars bar. If you guessed that the keeper would make a great save onto the bar and the rebound would be put into the back of the net by Too Good, then I owe you a Mars bar. Brilliant! Riding out 10-1 winners, the goal of the game was probably this one from Luke with his weak foot. To see the rest of them, check them out in the full video here. September 18th, my birthday, but more importantly it was charity night against Trafford Park Athletic as we looked to raise money for Luke Brewer, who was facing 10 weeks of radiotherapy in America. I'm happy to say that Luke is currently undergoing that treatment and things look to be going well so far. Thank you to everyone who donated to the cause, and I know Keith and the rest of the family really appreciate the support. So this was actually the night we introduced the Sky Sports style walk-ons, but let's take away the glossiness and have a look at some of them up close and personal. Starting with this exclusive with Super Dan. He's not been in the starting lineup yet because he's been injured, but here's his walk-on. The thing I like about Wayne's one is the ability to not move at all. I bet you all thought when you looked at this was just a still shot, but he genuinely doesn't move the whole way through. Well done that man. 2, 1, done. Cool. Super Dan decided to ruin Luke's walk-on by taking a photo. 15, 14. No, I don't like We've also noticed in the comments that Luke's been likened to Sheldon from Big Bang Theory and Murr from Impractical Jokers. Well played everyone, well played. Here's Sean and he's not quite sure what's going on. Just pose for 15 seconds straight. But don't go past that retake. And then there's Liam making sure he's walking up to the right spot. 15. Stop moving. Michael looks like he's asking us to call him, and best performance goes to Wazza. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finally, here's a little montage of some of the bits you won't see in the lineups over the season. Headphone users, you've been warned. So anyway, despite being a charity game, there was no love lost between the two sides as tackles went flying in. Luke once again cropped up with a goal that made sure his firm favourite for direct free kicks, but in the end with the game tie, penalties were the decider and we had a shocker. So Trafford Park won the game, and very fitting too considering who it was for. Keep on battling, Luke. So 2 days later the season finally starts, and in hindsight it probably wasn't the best preparation, but hey, it was for a good cause. In our first competitive match of the season we faced the kids over at Thames Gateway. It's always a tight affair between the two sides, and after doing the double over them last season they were certainly up for this. Chances were had at both ends, but the deadlock was broken as a Thames corner got the better of us. To then concede a penalty at the start of the second half, we looked dead and buried. But new signing Kieran gave us a lease of life as we pushed on for an equaliser, but Thames defended well and in the end it wasn't to be. Want to see it all over again? No problem, you can catch it here. The final game of September was at home to Scruttons, and with a poor start to the season it was very important to bounce back. Scruttons aren't exactly the easiest team to do that against, particularly as they've got the better of us a couple of times in the past. But in this game the team really pulled together with an 8-2 victory which included a hat-trick from Too Good and what is an early contender for goal of the season from Michael. Forward. Bangs it with the right, it's Michael!
Oh, you beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
We really come together as a team in this one and got back to winning ways. Want to see more of it? Be sure to check it out here. So that was September. Let's look at some stats. Now we're only going to include stats from competitive games, so we've just got the 2 to look at in the league so far. We're going to do the top 5 goal scorers each month, and there are only 5 goal scorers this month, so that was lucky. Bagging 1 goal each, we've got Luke and Michael. Following that, we've got Kieran and Connor bagging themselves 2 each. And finally, top goal scorer for September and overall this season is Mr. Jason Toogood, bagging himself 3. Let's look at some assists, because without them we wouldn't be getting goals. And starting off, we've got Nick, Coxey and Kieran with 1 assist each. Following that, we've got Michael with 2 assists, and leading the way with 3 assists is fans' favourite number 7, Knowlesy. Table-wise, we currently sit in 3rd on goal difference, but there's still a hell of a long way to go, people. So that for now is your September stats. Looking ahead to October, we've already played 1 fixture in the Essex Cup against FC Leytonstone, which you can check out here. Today, the 11th, we don't have a game, but following that on the 18th, we've got Linford Wanderers away, and then on the 25th, we're in the 2nd round of the Essex Cup at home to Ashfield Albion. So that, my friends, brings us to the end of the September roundup. Remember though, guys, this is your series, so be sure to suggest your ideas on what you want to see in these monthly roundups. Is it player Q&As? Is it behind the scenes footage? Maybe some forfeits? You let us know in the comments below. Until then though, thanks for your ongoing support, and we'll see you in the next one. Morgan asks, would you rather Palmer's FC win the Champions League or I be able to play for Spurs for 1 season? Well, it was obviously a dream of mine when I was growing up to play for Spurs, but my ankles are dodgy. I'm not going to be able to run around a pitch. Palmer's FC are the new thing now. If they could win the Champions League, I don't know. I'd be speechless.